The lights dimmed, the Dolby Theatre hushed, and suddenly, Hollywood had its story. But maybe not the whole story. Welcome to Snarscape Report.
Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
And today we're talking about Nicole Kidman's AFI Life Achievement Award, April 27th, 2024. A huge night.
Huge is an understatement. This was, the culmination of a 40-year career. And crucially, she's the first Australian actor ever to get this AFI award. That's massive.
It really is. And don't forget the context. This whole thing was delayed, right?
Yeah.
From June 2023 because of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes.
Right, which added this whole layer of anticipation. Like Hollywood was back, It felt like more than just an award.
Definitely. And that pressure, that feeling of we're back, meant the broadcast version, the one TNT aired later, had to be, well, perfect, polished.
Which is exactly what we're diving into today. We're going behind the glamour, looking at what didn't make it into that polished special.
We're talking about the strategic cuts, the edits, the omissions, basically how a Hollywood legacy gets carefully produced.
Okay, so let's get into it. Before she even said a word in her acceptance speech, the night had this other function, didn't it? It wasn't just a tribute.
Not at all. It was a massive industry fundraiser. This gala raised over $2 million for the AFI's educational programs.
Wow. Okay, so big money involved.
Big money. Corporate sponsors, industry players. When you have that kind of financial stake tied to a broadcast, the narrative needs to be, let's say, universally appealing, safe, controlled.
So the editing starts before the editing even starts? You mentioned the tributes kind of pre-edited the narrative for her.
Oh, absolutely. They set the stage perfectly. You had 3 key moments before her speech that basically told the audience what story to expect.
Okay, walk us through them.
First, the fun, the relevance. Morgan Freeman did that spoof of her AMC ad.
Yes, the heartbreak feels good in a place like this one. Instant viral potential, gets everyone laughing.
Exactly. Then, bam, the emotion. Her husband, Keith Urban, got deeply personal. Talked about going into rehab just 4 months after they got married in 2006 and how she supported him.
Right. That establishes the core themes: love, resilience, partnership. Very powerful.
Super powerful. And then, the final piece. The ultimate professional stamp of approval. Meryl Streep.
Does it get bigger than Meryl Streep?
Pretty much doesn't.
No.
Streep called her a Mustang, a workhorse, a champion racer. Just wow, that seals the deal on her artistic legacy.
So relevance, emotion, artistic validation, the table's set.
Perfectly said. So by the time Kidman starts her actual speech, which was about 15 minutes live, the editors watching already knew the assignment. Anything that didn't directly hit those 3 notes. Probably on the chopping block.
Which brings us to the cutting room floor. What went first? Usually the little stories, the anecdotes, right? For time.
Yep, pacing and clarity. 2 really charming anecdotes from her live speech, completely gone from the broadcast.
Okay, tell us about them, because these are the bits that make someone feel, real.
Totally. First one was this great story about being paid in books. Early on, like really early. She was too young to get a legal paycheck for some theater work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she has to be paid in books. Dramatic literature. Chekhov, Ibsen. It shows this incredible early dedication.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see how that takes time to explain on TV.
Exactly. Needs setup. The second cut was a self-deprecating story about Jane Campion, the director.
Oh, the famous one.
Yeah, Kidman admitted she actually turned down a role in one of Campion's early student films because, quote, she didn't like the script.
Huh. That's gutsy to admit.
Right. And she joked, "You don't turn down Jane Campion. Ever." It's funny. Humanizes her. Shows she can laugh at herself.
But again, it's a detour from the main emotional arc they wanted. Triumph, love, legacy.
Precisely. Anecdotes illustrate. But editors want direct statements, direct emotion. If it doesn't scream triumphs or heartfelt thanks, it's vulnerable, especially in a tight broadcast window.
Okay, so anecdotes are out for pacing. Makes sense, even if it's a shame. But what about just saying thank you? The professional stuff. That seems pretty essential for a Life Achievement Award.
The gratitude litany. That was another major area of condensation.
Condensation is a polite word for it. What happened there?
Well, in the live speech, she spent quite a bit of time, understandably, thanking directors. A lot of directors. Kubrick, Luhrmann, Gus Van Sant, Jonathan Glazer, Yorgos Lanthimos. The list went on.
As it should. That's the evidence of the achievement, isn't it? Working with those masters.
Absolutely. And she paid tribute to collaborators who'd passed away too, like Sidney Pollack, Nora Ephron, Anthony Minghella. Very poignant.
So how did they handle that for TV? Because just listing names, I get it, maybe not thrilling television.
It's considered, yeah, not compelling television. A long list of names, even famous ones, can make viewers tune out. It's audio wallpaper, visually static.
So what was the solution? They couldn't just cut all the thank yous.
No, but they transformed it. Instead of the long list read from the stage, the broadcast version did something slick.
Okay.
They took Kidman's voiceover, had her mention just a couple of key names, Kubrick, Luhrmann, the big ones maybe,
And
layered that audio over this fast-paced, dynamic montage of clips from her movies, her whole career flashing by.
okay. So they turned an audio list into a visual highlight reel. More engaging, more efficient for TV time.
Exactly. Maximum visual impact, minimum time spent on just names. It serves the TV viewer, maybe more than the industry purist. And if you're enjoying these behind-the-scenes details, make sure you hit that subscribe button on Starscope Report.
Definitely subscribe. Okay, so that montage trick makes sense, but that wasn't the biggest cut, was it? There was one line, one tiny phrase that blew up in the media after the live event.
Oh, yeah. The one everyone was talking about.
Yeah.
But if you only watched the TNT special, you wouldn't have heard it at all. Completely vanished.
This is the juicy part. The strategic omission. The ghost in the room, as you called it earlier.
Yeah. That's the one. It really tells you about how careful legacy management is, how risk-averse things get.
Set it up for us. What exactly did she say?
She's talking about acting, about the intense bonds you form on set with your fellow actors, the collaborative process.
Okay.
And she added this little phrase, almost a throwaway line. Some of them you fall in love with, some of them you marry.
That's it. That caused the stir. Some of them you marry.
That was it. 6 words. But the context was everything. Who was the famous actor she met on set, worked with on multiple films, and then married?
Tom Cruise, obviously. Days of Thunder, Far and Away, Eyes Wide Shut. Keith Urban, her husband now, is a musician. He wasn't an actor she married from a film set.
Exactly. So that little clause was seen immediately as this unmistakable, though indirect, reference to Cruise, a topic she almost never discusses publicly.
And the media reaction?
Instantaneous. Headlines everywhere. Nicole Kidman's rare reference to Tom Cruise. It became the story out of the live event.
Which must have sent the broadcast editors into a spin. They've got this carefully crafted narrative of current love and career triumph.
And suddenly, a potential bombshell from the past. They had a huge dilemma. Keep to the line that everyone's talking about, or cut it.
What were the risks of keeping it?
Multiple risks. First, weirdly, potential legal stuff, rights issues. Even hinting at an ex-spouse can sometimes get complicated for broadcast clearances, believe it or not. Studios hate ambiguity.
Huh. Don't think of that.
Second, and more importantly, focus. The whole night, the $2 million fundraiser, the tributes, it was all built around celebrating her 4 decades, her current family with Keith Urban and their daughters.
Keeping the line risks making the whole thing about the Cruise marriage again, which ended over 20 years ago.
Precisely. It derails the carefully planned narrative. And third, back to the money sponsors want feel-good stories. They want universal appeal, no controversy, no dredging up old Hollywood drama.
So the most talked about line gets erased to maintain control.
Ruthlessly excised. It was a calculated decision to protect the planned narrative, the celebratory tone, and probably the sponsor relationships. Tight control over legacy.
Wow. It really shows how what we see on TV is well-produced, heavily produced, not just documented. But the editing story doesn't quite end there, does it? There was another omission, an unintentional one, that needed fixing after the broadcast.
Yes. This is a fascinating contrast. It shows the difference between editing for TV and managing your professional standing long-term. This involves director James Wan.
The Aquaman director, what happened there?
Months later, in August 2024, Kidman did an interview with Le Figaro magazine, and she publicly stated she was devastated because she realized she'd accidentally forgotten to thank James Wan in her live speech.
Okay, wait. They deliberately cut the Cruise reference and cut dozens of other names in the director montage. Why is forgetting James Wan specifically so devastating that it needs a public apology months later in a magazine?
Because that's about the industry hierarchy and professional respect. Forgetting a director, especially the director of massive blockbusters like Aquaman and its sequel, which were huge commercial successes for her, that's seen as a serious oversight, a potential slight.
So cutting the Cruise line was strategic narrative control for the broadcast.
Right. Controlling the story for the public.
But forgetting Wan was an unintentional professional error that needed correcting for her industry relationships and reputation.
Exactly. The speech exists in different forms, you see. There's the live version with its flubs or unexpected moments. There's the polished TV special. And then there's the sort of permanent record in the industry's eyes. That record needed an update, an addendum via that public apology.
That's such a key distinction. It shows the legacy isn't just cemented on the night. It's managed, tweaked, corrected across different platforms long after the event itself.
Meticulously managed. The apology becomes the final edit needed to smooth things over professionally.
So wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway for you listening? It seems the AFI broadcast edits were all about creating this really potent, easy-to-understand emotional story for TV.
Yeah, prioritizing those big universal themes, current love, career success over the nitty-gritty industry details, the longer stories, or any historical complexity. Keep it clean, keep it moving, keep it emotional.
And the final words they did keep in the broadcast really sealed that deal, didn't they?
Perfectly. They kept her quoting Andy Warhol. Make art, let others decide whether it's good or bad, and while they're deciding, just make some more. Such a great line about artistic resilience.
And her very last line in the broadcast version.
Love does win, and film is forever.
That's the message they wanted you to leave with. Uplifting, simple, powerful, perfect for the night's dual goals, tribute and fundraiser.
Absolutely. It ties everything together in a neat, positive bow.
So it really proves the point. In Hollywood, a legacy isn't just earned or documented. It's produced, it's crafted, one strategic edit at a time. Maybe something to think about next time you're watching a big awards show. What aren't you seeing?
You've been listening to Starscope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture.
Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.